Welcome to the Horr-Gasm podcast, the show where the serial killer isn't coming for you, you're coming for them. I'm Nick, and this is my co-host, Ellie.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us wherever you are.
Yay!
And St. Patrick's Day, no, it's not quite St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
But close.
Next week.
It's close.
Yeah, I have a midterm actually next Tuesday, so.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, why on St. Patrick's Day?
Maybe you'll find a bag of gold.
Ugh.
And you'll have a leprechaun chase you, and you won't worry about the test.
That would be preferable. I hate, because I take evening classes, I hate when teachers put the finals and midterms and stuff on holidays.
Yeah.
Last year, my midterm, which, my class is from 7 to 10, my midterm was on Valentine's Day. What kind of a monster? It's oh, you know who's forever alone? University students.
Yeah. It's true.
They're not wrong, but, who wants to save money? Me!
Oh, boy. Well, we have to sadly start off with talking shop on a somber note.
Yes.
The other day, Max von Sydow passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, besides other roles he's done, I think one of the most horror-related one would be he was the old priest on The Exorcist.
Such a good movie. And he made that movie.
Yeah.
I think he was such a pivotal part. It's one of my favorite movies. I really like it.
I think it's overrated.
Interesting.
I really do. I don't see it didn't scare me.
Oh, I loved it.
I've seen it. I didn't get me.
Oh, I don't know. It's stuff to do with kids and stuff. Always, you know that. Everybody out here knows that.
Yeah. Stuff
to do with kids kind of bothers me just because, I don't know, they're so innocent. The actress who played, the Exorcist kid, was so good. And then I went on to watch another movie recently on Shudder that she did when she was a teenager. And it was so good.
Oh?
It was kind of, I don't know, it was I forget what it's called. Hell Night is what it was called. And it was about Halloween, and she, I don't know. She was older though. She was a teenager, and she did such a good job. I would totally recommend. We should actually add it. It was really good. But it's about pranking and Halloween, and then that actually turns out they're real monsters. Yeah, it was good.
Oh.
Definitely.
What else? He was also known for playing Ming the Merciless in Flash Gordon. Not so much horror there.
Right.
He was in Strange Brew. I didn't know that. Brewmeister Smith.
Cool.
I'll have to watch that now. He was in Dune.
Mm-hmm.
The old movie there. He was Vigo in Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, okay. Huh.
He was the voice. He was the voice of Vigo. I'm trying to find anything else more horror-related. And, he was, not horror, but he was Judge Fargo and Judge Dredd. Never seen Druids.
That was a good movie, Judge Dredd.
So good. A little campy, but...
I kind of liked it.
He was in Solomon Kane. I think that... He was in The Wolf. He's stuck to his horror background. And yeah.
I feel like you kind of, not get typecast, but you kind of get known for a certain genre, and you kind of stick to that for a while, I think. Yeah. When I think of it, I think of Emma Roberts. She is so horror right now. And she's even in that new movie, The Hunt, I saw. Isn't she? Isn't she in The Hunt?
So.
I'm pretty sure. Just the reason I know is because that was the one that was, banned. Or never came out on purpose, and then they reworked it.
I know I heard something similar. It was released in the film loop, the what do you call them? Just not official. They're more just to get publicity going.
Sure.
And get some recognition.
Yeah, and it was too political or something.
Something like that, and they're this is don't watch it. They're really kind of not.
Yeah.
It was negative, but not due to the film itself, just the message it portrayed.
Right.
And I guess they did a little work on it, or I said, screw it, we're going to release anyways.
Sure.
And, yeah.
Well, isn't that kind of what happened to that movie about Kim Jong-un or something?
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
with
James Franco or whatever.
Seth Rogen.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
It was such like it's not a great movie, but it was like funny. I can never listen to Katy Perry's Firework again and not think of it. Have you seen it?
No, but I've seen some clips of it.
Oh my god, they sing Firework to each other. Like, do you ever feel like a plastic bag floating in the breeze? It's just so ridiculous. I enjoyed it, and I liked that it was kind of like weirdly political. I don't know, but not like just in a funny way, like just making fun of people.
Yeah.
But I know it's a touchy subject for the North Korea thing.
Which they've kind of gone silent as of
yes.
late. That's really kind of dropped out of being such a major thing.
Yeah, they've been weirdly quiet lately.
What else? The Invisible Man was released last
Oh my
week.
god, I've heard such good things. Everything I've heard has been good.
I've heard mixed.
Really?
I've heard good, and people say this is boring, this is dumb. It's just a tamed version of Hollow Man. I'm like, I liked Hollow Man.
Interesting.
I'll still watch it.
I've heard it's really good because Dead Meat did a review on it, and then another podcast I kind of listened to. It's called Drinking and Screaming, and they talked about it, and they said it was really good as well.
Cool.
And I was like, like it, and like the girl the main character, I forget her name, Elizabeth. What's her name? She was from Mad Men and Handmaid's Tale. She does like a phenomenal job. She's such a good actress. And it just looks amazing.
Cool.
I really, really want to see it. I don't know. Maybe when it goes to the cheap theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay!
Then The Hunt. I'll see that. I do want to see
yes.
that.
Yeah.
It's another, the band is the most dangerous thing to hunt.
Yes.
And it has a very battle royale feel to it, but
yes,
it doesn't. Like, you don't know who is the one hunting. It looks neat. It looks
yes.
It looks fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of, like, sort of, not exactly, but, like, Ready or Not as well. Like, we still have to see that one. Because I've heard that one was really, really good as well.
I have too.
Yeah.
And also, little topic change here, with all of these coronavirus talk, and everyone is terrified because of media and all that just blowing out of proportion, I think, in my opinion. There's been a few kind of pandemic movies. One of the most well-known was Outbreak with Morgan Freeman. I think he was in that. And there's something similar a couple years ago was Contagion.
Yes, I've heard of Contagion.
And that's almost exact with the coronavirus.
Interesting.
How in China there was, what's her name? She was an Iron Man.
Like Gwyneth Paltrow?
Thank you, that's her name. Yeah, her character.
Like the Goop Lady?
Yes. Crazy Gwyneth.
Yes.
Her character was in China and for some thing.
Sure.
And you see this bat fly around and bite this pig.
Interesting.
And then you see the pig get slaughtered.
Uh-huh.
And I think it was in Japan, not China. And it was one of those classic Japanese barbecues where you basically get served raw food and you cook it yourself.
Yes. And
she didn't cook it well enough. She was partying with her co-workers. They were drinking, having a good time. She comes home and she's patient zero.
Oh.
And she dies.
Oh, no.
And Matt Damon or Brad Pitt, I forget who co-starred. They go and...
They're like the same.
They are. They really are. And it's a really good movie.
Cool.
Not quite as impactful as Outbreak.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. And when I think pandemic, outbreak, contagious disease sort of movies, I always think of like zombie movies, right? Because they are so closely related. Like, it's very odd to have a movie about a disease without having zombies. You know?
And it depends on the zombie movie too.
Right.
There's never ever an explanation why the dead are come back to life.
Right.
I think, except in which one was it? The Return of the Living Dead. They kind of gave a reason. It was more of this factory, like the sludge, whatever it gave off.
Right.
Reanimated corpses.
Okay.
And, I think 20 days later is not so much zombies as it's just an infection.
Well, that's like the Crazies. The Crazies is the
same thing.
Yes.
The Crazies was, or I think 20 days later was a weaponized version of rabies.
Yes, and that's in the Crazies. It was a bioweapon, and they purposely infected people to see how effective it was, I believe. Spoiler alert, that's like the end of the movie. But like, the other day, like I've been trying to stay away from all the hype. Like I don't watch the news or anything on purpose because mainstream media kind of bothers me. But I was getting like a little, I don't know, hyperventilated about the whole coronavirus thing. So to make myself feel better, I watched Train to Busan.
That is such a good one, too.
Because I was like, literally the whole time I'm watching it, I'm just like, it could be worse.
Yep.
And it made me feel better.
Oh, good.
And I felt bad because I was texting Jessica and I thought that she had seen it. And I sent her one of the most, like, pivotal scenes that I loved. And I was just like, ha ha ha, best part of the movie. And she's like, what are you watching? And I was like, oh, shit. Because that's kind of not really zombie. Like, they don't eat people, but they just kind of, like you've seen Train to Busan.
Yes,
I don't know how to, like, describe it. They, like, try to just infect everybody. Yeah. And they're, like, strong. They're not smart, and they can't, like, open doors or anything. But they just, like...
I'm sure they do have some... They do eat a little bit. I'm sure one of the scenes I remember, they kind of swarm the guy and just start biting him.
Yeah, but they just, like, bite them.
Oh.
It's weird.
There is a sequel,
they rip them apart, but...
Yeah, there's a sequel in the works as we speak.
Really?
Either they're finished filming or they're filming. It's coming out soon.
Sure.
It's supposed to be set, like, a couple years after. So,
interesting.
Same universe, different characters, different area.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, does it play off the two characters that survived?
I don't think
guess
so.
Not. Okay.
I don't think so.
Interesting. Because I know it was based off of the guy who directed it only did, like, short, or animated shorts and stuff. And this was his first live action. So I tried to look up the animated short and I couldn't find it. Oh. But... yeah, it was a good movie about, like... But that's the same thing, kind of like, I felt like it was like the Crazies, where it's not really zombies, but it's like, if you get bitten, you get infected, and you go nuts.
And with even 20 days later, it's not even just getting bitten.
Sure.
If you get the infected blood in your system, you change, you turn, you become infected. One of the scenes, one of the characters is kind of walking under a tunnel, and he looks up, and this bird's pecking away at this dead, like a hand or something.
Sure.
And blood drops into his eye. Ooh. And he kind of wipes it out, and he starts shaking, and he realized right away, crap, he says to his kids, I love you very much, and he turns.
Yuck.
And it's really quick, too. It's a quick infection.
Well, that's like some cities in the world right now are under quarantine and stuff, and I'm just like... a 2-week quarantine sounds like a fucking dream. Like, I could just sit in my room for 2 weeks and play video games. Like, hello? It's like every introvert's dream.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, because I don't have an essential job. Like, I'm not a police officer.
I need money, though.
I'm just saying, like... oh. Well, now that we've talked about all of our fears, or lack thereof, do you want to get into Leprechaun?
I do. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're in a doll factory, right? It kind of reminds me of that movie, The Leprechaun. You remember with that little guy who goes, I'm the leprechaun. Garth, I'm the leprechaun.
Cool it, okay?
I'm the leprechaun.
Stop it, all right?
Don't try and steal me, Patago.
Stop it, leprechaun man.
Garth, chill.
Coming people.
What did those monsters do to you, sweetie?
I'm not.
Sweetie.
Stop it.
Sweetie.
Sweetie.
Come on, sweetie. Come on. Pixie dust. Sweetie, it's me. It's me. The leprechaun. The leprechaun.
Want to leave, but can't. Want to move.
Where are you going to move?
Get away, leprechaun.
Are you going to move to Ireland? Because I'm the leprechaun.
All right, so this week we watched Leprechaun. And it was a thing that we watched. And it was directed by Mark Jones. And it came out in 1993. And it was kind of a pile of garbage.
No.
I'm just gonna say the words.
It's not that. Yeah, okay. You know what? Before we get into this...
It was kind of a pile of garbage.
Okay. Warwick Davis makes this movie watchable. Solely on Warwick Davis. For being a short person, he holds his entire film on his shoulders.
He does.
And he kills it, literally. And figuratively. But no, he did a great job.
Yeah.
He came off of Willow. He was kind of in a bit of a no acting slump, and they're like, "Hey, we're doing this movie. It's Leprechaun. We need a short person. Let's get Warwick Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He's not had the most experience, but he can do good acting. He was on Star Wars as Ewok. He did Willow after with Val Kilmer. That was a huge movie. And he was also still under Star Wars' Lucasfilm's contract when he made this movie. So George's like, sure, go make this movie. I don't need you until 1999 for episode 1. And yeah, so we got Warwick Davis as a Leprechaun.
Right.
Jennifer Aniston in her first acting role ever in 1993.
I can't believe she got a job after this. Anybody who watched this that's like, that's who I want.
Well, you gotta start somewhere.
You're not wrong.
We then have Ken Olant as Nathan Murphy. Mm-hmm. Mark Holton as Ozzy. We'll get into him later. And Robert Hy Gorman as Alex.
Piece of shit kid.
I hate this kid.
He's horrible.
There's a few movies where like this kid needs to die.
You know, I felt that way a little bit about the kid in Deadpool 2.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, little bastard.
Yeah. Like, and I don't normally, like, I don't like kids, but there's very few times where it's like, this kid is a piece of shit. Like, why are you even here? And this kid did that for me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
He was an ass to Ozzy.
Yeah.
Who was a little mentally challenged.
I think they meant for him to be special needs and just, like, never explicitly said it and just acted it. Ugh.
And we got Jennifer chasing after Nathan because he's the hot guy. And it's funny, you start off, you're confused because her dad's in it too, but he's of no consequence.
Yeah.
And he's not in it very much at all. He's at the beginning and then he gets bit and then he's gone. That's it. And you, in the beginning, you asked me, so are they father-daughter, or is there some sort of love interest going on here?
Well, because
and she's instantly cheating on him with the hot young guy.
Because I was here for that. I was much more here for that. But because he's like, oh, honey, oh, darling, oh, honey. And so I was like, okay. Yeah. So, like, they're bumping it. That's cute. And she's acting like the prissy housewife, like, ew, this place is so gross. At
first, a little, yeah.
And I'm like, I just want to go shopping. There's no shopping. And I'm like, okay, like, I feel that. I get where you're going with this. And that's when I was like, wait, he's got gray in his hair. Is that on purpose? Like, are they trying to make it like he's some absent husband? Yeah.
Daddy issues.
And then Nathan comes out and she's immediately like, oh, paint thinner, let me pay you. And then I was like, oh, like she's a slut. She wants to get that D. Like, okay. I don't judge, but like you do you, Jennifer Aniston. And that's what I asked you, and I was like, oh, okay. That's what. Like, did they say that? Did they say he's father-daughter?
No, I think later on she says dad.
Oh, okay.
So it's later. It eventually,
because they don't say it in the beginning, and that's why I was like, what? Like.
Oh boy! So where did you first hear this movie, Allie?
I heard about this movie when we were talking about movies we should do for holidays. And then I Googled it. And I was like, ooh, Jennifer Aniston's first role. That must be good. Boy, was I wrong. Because when I think like Cameron Diaz, like one of her first roles was The Mask.
Yep.
That was great.
Yep.
What the fuck with?
I don't. Well, you're comparing apples to oranges.
Or am I?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Well, Jim Carrey as a leprechaun would have been fun.
He's too tall.
Yeah,
They could have shrunk him, but he's too tall. Although he would have played a great leprechaun.
Right.
He would have.
Good voice. Well, how about you? This came out in 93, so you were...
I remember when this was out.
Really?
I do. I remember this. I don't
box
remember
office hit?
No. I do. I remember it was out, and I'm like, oh, cool. It's got a little leprechaun. Girl gets chased, whatever.
Sure.
I didn't care. It wasn't on my radar. It wasn't really anything I wanted to see. I remember going through the horror section. Always, Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3. Wow, they made a lot. They made 5 sequels.
Oof.
And then they redid it twice.
Oof.
They rebooted it.
Oh, twice?
Well, reboot and then a sequel to the reboot, which I have the whole 8-movie collection.
Do you have the 2018 one?
Yes, I do.
Fuck, I want to watch that one. I kind of want to see it.
We'll add it there eventually.
Yeah.
We'll watch it. Yeah, we'll get there.
Cool.
I don't know if we want to put her through some more leprechauns. But we will.
Can I skip all the way to 2018?
No. We have to go through when he's back in the hood.
Watch some
and in space.
My God. That's the only one on Shudder is Leprechaun in the Hood. Because that's the one I originally had on here. I was like, well, I guess that's it. And then I'm like Googling, like, do you have to watch them in order? And somebody like responded, do you have to watch them at all? I was like, so I kind of knew what I was getting into.
Well, do a little research. This was made in under $1 million.
Sure.
I believe it.
Yeah.
The effects were... The makeup was great.
Yeah.
The makeup was great.
I think the best part of this movie was the makeup and the gore.
Yes. They did a good job with that. It was supposed to be a straight, horror movie. And then I think the director, one of the producers, someone's like, you know what? Let's make it a little more comedic.
Yeah.
And they threw in more comedy. And to balance off, they added more gore to it. Mm-hmm. This did not do well in theaters. This was a bomb. Mm-hmm. But with most of the bombs, they get the cult following, and that's this happened. And again, I owe it all to Warwick Davis because he made this movie as good as it was. Yes, he had fun with this. You could tell. Sure. He was worried at first, like, "Oh, this is going to be terrible. This is going to end my career." Mm-hmm. And nope, he made all the sequels.
Sure.
This is one of his favorite films, or one of his favorite roles to play is the Leprechaun. Fun. And good for him. Mm-hmm. I love the guy. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He didn't get as big as I think he should have been, besides this, or Willow, playing Wicket in Star Wars. Yeah. Coming back to Star Wars as different characters, because he's part of the franchise.
For sure.
He was in... Episode 1, I don't know if they had him in 2 or 3, but they also threw him in Solo and Rogue One. I think Rogue One. I think it was in Rogue One. Yes, he was. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah,
he's for his career. It was good. He had a good career.
Yeah,
and being for being one of the less profitable horror movies, Leprechaun is up there.
Yeah.
He's one of the horror icons.
Like, I knew who he was from just horror sites selling t-shirts, that kind of stuff. Like, seeing him around. But, like, so I knew what the Leprechaun looked like.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about the picture you showed me of the one from the 2018. It looks weird. It looks almost trollish.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, we've had now 3 then actors play Leprechaun. You got Warwick Davis... I forget the guy's name for the Leprechaun Returns or sequel, and again I have to look up his name. The guy they had, he was also the remake was done by WWE Pictures, who they also did not the Oracle, the Ouija board one. The Ouija and some like the mirror one too.
Oh, okay.
And that was done pretty well, and See No Evil with Glenn Jacobs and the sequel. So they've got some hits.
I didn't know that they even made movies.
Oh yeah. Weird. And they had one of their wrestlers. They do it for the wrestlers to branch out into movies and gets their names known out there. And they had one of the little people wrestlers star as the Leprechaun remake.
Cool.
And I haven't seen it, but I like the wrestler. He was Hornswoggle.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Yeah. And he was also in Muppets Most Wanted, because he's a giant Muppets fan. He's got Muppets tattooed on him.
Oh my god!
And like I have a connection now. We're kindred spirits because I also love Muppets.
Yeah, and you loved Animal, didn't you? I remember as a kid, I thought you liked Animal.
Oh yeah, I liked Animal. I liked Kermit. I liked them all.
Right.
Animal's cool though.
Yeah, I loved the Muppets. I feel like they were so underrated. Like, it was always one of my favorite like rides in quotation in Disneyland, the Muppets, just because like you kind of get to see them all, and it was like a 3D sort of a ride. It was so much fun. I think it's shut down now. Like, they replaced it with Frozen something, I think.
Gross. and of course, it's like almost every episode now, Jim Henson Studios was behind Farscape.
Yes.
And the Labyrinth and what was the other one? The Dark Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And they did great. Like, the I think we talked before about how the series... It was creepy. There were some scary spots in that. So
yeah,
there's my Muppet Jim Henson tangent.
More puppet horror movies.
They need some.
Right.
That would, with Jim Henson behind it, they would do great.
Yes.
I could see some really good puppet horror movies being made.
Yes, like some. Well, because we're huge fans of practical effects too, I think.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. That'd be like almost a practical effects love story right there.
Puppets and practical effects. Yeah. Slap me and call me daddy. I'm in.
Oh boy. Okay.
And on that note. Oh, we already did the characters. Okay, movie review. Okay.
Here we go.
So this is painless as possible.
This won't take long. I don't think so. So this good movie.
Amazing movie.
It's not terrible. It's better than the ones we have seen already. It's better than Maximum Overdrive.
It's better than Maximum Overdrive.
It's much better than My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
It kicks Black Christmas's ass. Mostly because it's got a plot.
Yeah.
It's a very simple plot. You see, it starts off with the Leprechaun, Warwick Davis. He's just happy he's got his gold. He's this kind of little dark shaft, like steps.
Sure.
And he's just talking about his gold. He loves his gold. That's his thing.
Yep.
His gold. His pot of gold.
It's like Gollum to the ring. Like, it's just his jam. Yeah.
And then we go to the character, 1983, Dan O'Grady comes home after his mom or someone passed away.
Yeah.
To his wife. And he's drinking. He's excited because we find out he stole the Leprechaun's gold.
Yeah. Did they ever explain how he did it?
No.
Weird.
They just show the Leprechaun with the gold, and then all of a sudden Dan O'Grady,
he has the gold.
He's got it. So he's trying to explain to his wife that they got nothing to worry about now. They're set for life, and she's like, "What are you talking about? You're drunk." He's like, "Yes, but we have gold," and he kind of has what she thinks is his mother's urn.
Yes.
Smashed on the ground, and she's like, "Oh!" I notice he pulls out the bag of gold.
Yes.
And he goes to hide it. So while he does that, his wife's making tea.
Of course.
And she hears this kid from his luggage talking. And, she opens it up, and out comes a leprechaun. And he's trying to find the gold. Where's my gold? And
does he really have much of an accent? I didn't think he really had an accent.
Well, Warwick's got a British accent.
So was it like on and off?
Oh no.
Oh, because I didn't hear much of an accent.
Oh yeah, he keeps it through the movie.
Oh.
But also he's British. He's got the British accent alone, so that kind of he can tweak it a bit to make it a little Irish. I caught it. I heard it. You just weren't paying attention.
I did not hear an accent. I will be honest. I feel like I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, like the O'Grady couples have Irish accents, and I was like, cool. The leprechaun obviously will, and I was like, I don't hear much of an accent, but okay, maybe it's implied. I don't know.
Do you have to watch it again?
No, do not do that to me. I refuse.
So he stoles away from Ireland.
Yeah.
They're now in North Dakota, and he kind of chases. No, he doesn't push her, but the wife gets scared. She falls down the stairs, breaks her neck.
Yes.
And Dan shows up, and he's like, "Oh, where's my wife? What happened?" And Leprechaun's like, "I want my gold." And Dan, he's smart. Like, he knows about... He's Irish. He knows. So he has a four-leaf clover.
Yeah.
And he kind of chases and shoots the leprechaun and throws her in a crate and nails it shut. Mm-hmm. Puts the four-leaf clover on top so he can't kind of break out. And he's going to burn it. And he has a stroke before he can.
Like, it's just so random, but it seems like the leprechaun brings on the stroke. Because he's going to light him on fire, and he's like, I won't let ya.
Yeah, he curses him.
And I curse you forever. And Dan's like, psh. Whatever. And then he runs upstairs to grab matches, and then has a stroke.
Yeah, and that's it. And 10 years later, the leprechaun's still stuck in the crate, and we are introduced to JD and Tori.
Yes. Not lovers.
No.
Father and daughter.
Yeah. I guess they're renting the farmhouse for the summer.
Yes.
And we meet Nathan, Alex, and Ozzy as they come to paint the house. And
they have a very thoughtful business model. Their company is called Three Guys That Paint. And yeah, that's what they do.
They suck.
They're horrible.
They're painting the house blue and red.
Yes, so they're painting the house blue, and then they're painting the shutters red. And for the whole movie, when they're supposed to be painting, first off, they're fucking around most of the time. Like, my dad would have been so unimpressed if I was helping him, because they paint like a 2x2 piece of the house, and then they do like 3 swipes on the shutter.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And
I hope they're not paying you by the hour, because you're getting fucked.
Alex is wasting money by knocking, or not by kind of not knocking the ladder over, but he doesn't hold the ladder for Ozzy. Ozzy falls, drops paint all over himself. Like, they're wasting money. Like, he's not even helping. This kid's just...
No.
He's like Nathan's brother, but just terrible.
Yeah. He's just, like, making fun of people.
Yeah.
And, like, he's so mean to Ozzy.
And Ozzy is a little handicapped. He's got some... He's not a full-blown, special needs, but he's got some learning disabilities. He's a little slow.
And Alex, talks about the whole reason when they, spoiler alert, they find the gold, but when they do it in this scene, but when they do, he's like, oh, we can use the money to fix your brain.
Alex, I think, is slow, too. And
I would say.
It's terrible. So Tori, she doesn't like the place. It's dirty. It's not New York or LA where she's from.
Right.
And
it's not close to a shopping mall.
Yeah.
And then go get a hotel.
Entitled little brat.
Yes.
And she goes to leave. I'm going to go get a hotel. And she runs into Nathan. She's suddenly smitten with his bulging muscles and all that. And so,
Musk, the pheromones get to her. And so her dad's like, all right, well, let's get the suitcase and leave. And she's like, no, what are you talking about? I don't want to leave now.
I want to be with Nathan.
Yeah,
he's cute.
I want to help fix it.
And so
does this whole movie take place over one day?
Yep.
Right?
A day and a night.
That's crazy.
This movie is crazy. So Ozzy gets paint dumped on him because Alex is a little shit.
Yes.
And he goes inside to clean up, and he wanders around because he hears again the leprechaun.
Yes.
In the basement. Which he kind of gets woken up by Tori. She tries to bring some Kool-Aid or iced tea or something downstairs for Nathan as a peace offering because she was being a bitch to him. And she
dumps it on the crate.
Well, he dumps a tarp on her or something, and she spills on the crate, knocks the no, it doesn't knock it off yet. Wakes the leprechaun. Yeah. Ozzy goes downstairs because the leprechaun's awake, and he tries to lure him down with his little kid voice he can do.
Yes.
And he knocks off the 4-leaf clover on top. Mm-hmm. And the leprechaun springs out, busts the crate, and threatens Ozzy to bite his ear off and turn into a shoe unless he finds his gold.
Yes.
And Ozzy freaks out. He goes run away. Everyone tries to use his powers. He can't because he needs his gold. Yeah. And Ozzy tells him, "Oh, there's a leprechaun downstairs. Mm-hmm. He tried to get me. We gotta stop him." And no one believes him because I guess Ozzy likes to tell stories.
Yes, he likes to tell tall tales.
Last week was aliens, or Bigfoot was trying to get him. So
nobody believes poor Ozzy.
No.
So, yeah, the leprechaun's out now, and he runs outside, and Nathan's doing, like, a ghost sort of painting thing with Tori, isn't he? So then...
They got paint all over them. This is the worst painters
they have
ever.
More paint on themselves than on the frickin' house.
Yeah.
So Ozzy looks back, and he sees, like, a rainbow. So he's like, Alex, let's go to the end of the rainbow. That's where the leprechaun keeps his gold. And Alex is like... well, I guess I have to keep this place in line, so I'll go chase after him, I guess, like a jerk. And Nathan and Tori are like, that's fine, because we're going to max, so whatever, you do you. So he runs after him, and they take, the end of the rainbow goes to this old truck on the property. So we as the audience see like a glint sort of on the seat.
Yeah.
So Alex and Ozzy are kind of wandering around, and then Ozzy picks up a coin, and he's like, oh, wow, a coin. And Alex is like, give it to me.
Alex, a little shit.
Tries
to grab it from Ozzy. You know, he's just a little brat.
Yes.
And he kind of gets it from him finally, and he sees the bag of gold.
Like, apparates. Yeah.
Appears out of nowhere. And he's like, here, you can have this one coin, I'm taking the rest. Like, Alex, a little greedy bastard.
Yes.
And
they're like...
And Ozzy, now I know it's real gold, you bite it. And he bites it, and then to cut to Alex, back to Ozzy, I swallowed it. And, so Alex gets the idea, hey, we'll get this gold, we're rich, we can get you surgery to fix your brain. Ozzy.
Yeah, you fucking idiot, we need surgery to fix your brain.
Yeah. So they end up stashing it in the old well, and they take the one coin. They take another coin.
Yes.
To see just how much it's worth.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we got back to JD, the dad, and Tori, and it scratches her first. He's stroking her leg.
Yeah, she's like in the back.
Yes.
Yeah, on the back of the truck, she's grabbing more paint. So he's underneath the truck by the tire and just like stroking her leg, and she's like, Nathan, stop! Oh my
and
God,
she looks
Nathan,
back,
stop.
and Nathan's behind her. She's like, he was touching my leg, and he slices her.
Yes.
And she's like, ow, 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 and her dad shows up. He's like, oh, are you okay? It must have been like an animal. You hear a cat meowing.
Mm-hmm.
So
she's like, Dad, I know when a man is touching my leg.
I bet she does.
And he's like, what? Also, if you pay attention throughout the movie, her scratches appear when they feel like it.
Yeah.
On and off.
So they hear a cat, so his dad thinks it sounds hurt. He goes and reaches into this log, and he gets bit.
Yes.
By the leprechaun.
It's like a pretty gnarly bite.
Oh, yeah. Again, good effect. And so they rush him to hospital, and that's basically the last you see of him. And Leprechaun runs into the barn and zooms out on a tricycle.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So a little bit later, we got Ozzy and Alex at this pawn shop showing off this coin. The guy there, he's like trying to, okay, I'll check it out. But usually, this coin's worth $500. And if it's older than I think, it could be priceless. So Alex is all excited. He wants to keep it. So the guy keeps it for just
overnight.
Just to find out just where it's from. So he brings this big old book out of coins. And he finds it. Mm-hmm. And as he does, the leprechaun kind of shows up with his tricycle kind of ringing it. He likes to play games. Likes to taunt a bit. And so he ends up killing the guy.
Yeah.
Gets his going back, but how he kills him is very funny. He knocks him down.
Yeah.
And then gets on a pogo stick and
just starts jumping on him.
Pogos on him while singing a nursery rhyme. This old man.
Yes.
Yes. He plays one. I forget how it goes.
He makes a joke about it, like now I'm jumping on his lung or something, and it's just good Lord.
This old man, he played one. He played knick-knack on his lung.
Yes.
And he basically jumps on with pogo until he dies, and then he has to clean his shoe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which is actually a big plot point in this movie.
Yeah.
He's a leprechaun. He loves his gold, and he makes shoes, and he loves shoes. Got to be clean. Got to make them tidy.
Yeah, it's kind of funny later on.
And then he, in this pawn shop, he sees a toy car, like a little kid's car.
Yes.
So he trades up and zooms off with the little car to go look for the rest of his gold. And he gets pulled over by a police officer.
Oh, yes. Oh, and this great scene full of plot points and...
Oh, it's funny. Guy comes up, a little late for you. Hey, kiddo, and say, kid, I'm 600 years old.
Yeah.
And he proceeds to kill the police officer.
Yes.
Slices his face.
Yes.
The police officer runs away, the leprechaun chases him.
Oh,
There's a lot of chases movie.
There's a scene where, like, he's standing behind a tree, the police officer, like, looking for him. And he's like, oh, you want to play hide and seek, do you? And it's like, oh, okay. And then the police officer proceeds to stand there for, like, 45 seconds on screen. And you just, like, kind of awkwardly watch him, like, is he gonna do something? Like, that's just the thing with this movie is, like...
It's got a rough pace.
Like, putting it together is weird. Like, it was weird. There's weird choices. And like, also, when Jennifer Aniston's in the hospital and the camera just decides to turn, it's like, oh, now we're gonna get camera angles. Okay, cool.
And there is this random hole in the ground that everyone keeps tripping over and falling. Everyone trips over this. It's ridiculous.
This was so good. Oh my god, when you pointed it out, it was hilarious. Because everybody, it's the same spot on the ground. Everybody just like
well, not the same spot, but it's just, it moves around. Everyone keeps slipping or falling in this movie. And once or twice, I can get that.
Sure.
But everyone falls at least 2 or 3 times.
Every time they turn a corner, they're slipping. To our victims,
if you ever watched the movie, start counting. From the first time, I forget who is the first one who falls.
Take a shot every time.
Oh, God.
You'll be dead.
You'd be drunk by the hospital scene. You would be. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's a true Irish movie.
Ah, good point.
Yes.
So, eventually, the police officer, he gets killed. The leprechaun just jumps on his shoulders and snaps his neck.
Yes.
Dead. And then he goes back to the house and starts searching everywhere for his gold. Mm-hmm. And, of course, they have the Lucky Charms spot, which was actual Lucky Charms.
Oh.
But because the movie was going to be so bad, they pulled. They're like, you know what?
What was it? Like, Lucky, what was it?
Sprinkles or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Some knockoff.
Yeah.
And, so he ransacks, looks for it, couldn't find it.
And then at the end, what's it called? The little kid says, fuck you and your Lucky Charms.
Yeah, fuck you, Lucky Charms.
Yes, that one. Yeah, that was good. I got a giggle out of that.
So after they leave the dad in the hospital, they all go back to the house, and
like, why would they go back?
They get chased. Ozzy is still all about this leprechaun.
Right.
And they hear this weird sound outside, this ding ding. Mm-hmm. So Nathan gets a gun, decides to go outside to go check. He trips and he falls into what they call a bear trap. That's too small to be a bear trap. It's a trap.
It's itty bitty. It's like the size of a hand.
Yeah,
like
he falls on his leg and the leprechaun shows up and he's all, "Where's my gold? Where's my gold?" And everyone kind of runs outside and they start hitting him.
Yeah.
They just smack him with a flashlight.
Yeah, and a rock.
The kid gets a rock, which kind of... It's just a mess.
Yeah.
This scene is a mess.
It's, like, feels really disjointed.
Yeah.
And there's lots of, like, cutaways. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to bring out is the cutaways.
Cuts. Yes, little spin.
It's like an 80s sitcom when they, like, change scenes. It's like the screen just flips and it's a different screen. And, like, they might be doing the exact same thing, but it's just like... and then a new scene. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
So now everyone knows that there's a leprechaun, although Jennifer Aniston's character says, we don't know what it is. It's something.
Yes.
It's a leprechaun.
And so Ozzy goes to call the police.
Yeah, they shoot him with the shotgun and...
Yeah, because Alex goes to get the gun.
Yeah.
And then Ozzy goes to call the police, and Jennifer Aniston's just, like, wailing on him.
Yeah. Nathan gets the gun, shoots him into the bush. he gets free, and he gets up and he unloads 4 or 5 shots
on this
into
poor
the bush.
And it's like not even a full bush.
No, it's just
it's just like a twiggy little thing. Like it's like it doesn't even think about it. It just starts unloading shells into the bush, and like he's obviously not there. And it's just like, God damn it, you idiot!
Why? So they go back inside. They bandage her up. Leprechaun shows up again through the fridge.
Yes.
Comes out through the fridge. And they all run outside again, run into the truck.
Yeah.
And, of course, doesn't start before. It's another plot point. It's the distributor cap.
Oh, yeah.
And
so Alex, the master mechanic here, the 10, 11-year-old, opens the truck, grabs these wires, and just flings them around a bit.
Time, yeah. Second time, the distributor cap, so he gets out, he's crawling, kind of sneaky to get, opens up, and the leprechaun's in the truck. And he's just biting the wires.
Yes.
And so Alex runs back inside, they roll windows up, and he lock the doors. Leprechaun, I just want to play with me friends. Come on, you me friends, let's play. Smashes through the front window, bites Ozzy's ear.
Oh, yeah.
And they kind of
well, you did warn him.
Yeah. And they shoot him again. He runs away into the barn.
Yeah.
Comes out with this Mad Max built car with like a pitchfork on the front. Rams into the truck, flips the truck over.
Yes!
Everyone gets out somehow and they go kind of hide.
Yes.
And it's just ridiculous. Oh, Eventually Ozzy reveals that he and Alex, they found the gold.
Yes.
So Tori, she's like, well, let's give it back to him. It'll be all over and done. She's like, okay, yeah. So she goes out with the gold to him. And he's creepy with her. And she runs back in. And you see him, he's counting.
Yes.
98, 99. They got me coin. And so it's back on the chase to find the missing coin, which is in Ozzy's stomach.
Yes.
And so they decide, okay, well, we gotta find out how we can kill him.
Yes.
And Ozzy's like, well, Dan, we thought died at the beginning. Apparently he's had a stroke. He was in old folks' home for 10 years.
Yeah.
So they decide to distract him. While Tori jumps in the Jeep, which she did the first time, to go talk to Dan and find out how to kill the leprechaun. So their way to distract the leprechaun is throw boots and shoes at him to clean. And it's so nice. It's like throwing cheese to a mouse.
It's just so ridiculous. It's like he has like compulsion. Like OCD. When he sees it, he's like, I gotta clean it, gotta clean it, gotta clean it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's just such a ridiculous thing that like that's how they distract him. But I mean, whatever works. Like it's the sad part is that's not even like top 10 most ridiculous things in this movie.
It's not. It's not. So she goes to nursing home. Apparently these they have a tendency to run away because there's a guard at the front door. She sneaks to find out where Dan's room is and finds him, but it's not him. Leprechaun followed her.
Yeah.
On roller skates.
Oh my god.
And so
forgot about the roller skates.
Roller skates. And so she's trying to talk to Dan in the wheelchair and turned around. Oh nope, it's Leprechaun. Chases her in the wheelchair. And she runs
all the way home.
Well, she runs the elevator, finds Dan, and he's been hurt or something. He's just hanging from the elevator, and tells her, you gotta find a 4-leaf clover.
Yes.
Luckily, there's a patch by the well.
A very well lit.
That glows green.
With green lighting on it.
Oh yeah. So she chases back, and
he follows her in this wheelchair all the way home.
Yep.
Like they cut to a scene with him in the wheelchair on the road, just like woohoo.
Yeah. And she goes and she looks at the patch, and oh, Leprechaun again. So she runs and finds a police car. And she opens the door. He's dead, of course.
Right.
Grabs a nightstick because the Leprechaun's trying to get at her. Pokes his eye out. And he smashes through. She crawls in the back seat. He grabs the eye. This is, again, great effect here. This is really good. Tears an eye out.
Yes.
Of the policeman and puts into his own so he has 2 eyes again.
Right. So that must be how he's staying alive then, right? Is that kind of the whole point of that?
I think that's just him being the Leprechaun. Just Leprechaun magic.
Sure.
And Ozzy and Nathan show up and shoot the Leprechaun again and save her. And she tells him, we got to find a 4-leaf clover.
Right.
So we got basically a good couple minutes of them looking for a 4-leaf clover.
Right.
And they find one, finally.
Because Jennifer Aniston doesn't believe. Ozzy makes her believe.
And again, this is a very weird scene here where Alex goes into the bar and he's going to set a trap.
Yeah, like what was he going to do?
He's going to trap him with the
like he put
the bear
a friggin'
trap.
bear trap in there. And it doesn't hardly cover it.
No. And the Leprechaun's right there just watching. Just watching him.
Probably like, what a fucking idiot.
Yeah. It's... so the Leprechaun hops down, he chases Alex and grabs him. Ozzy hears this, comes, kind of saves him, tells him, hey, the coin's in my stomach.
Yeah, come get me, I'm the one you want.
And Leprechaun's like, okay, sure, I'm going to murder you.
Yes.
And knocks him down and takes his belt buckle out and starts slicing the crap out of his face.
Yes.
Out of his stomach, his face. And Alex finds picks up the little 4-leaf clover, sticks it with gum, and shoots it with his slingshot.
Yes.
Into the Leprechaun's mouth.
Which is, first off, gross germs.
Yeah.
Ugh.
He catches the coronavirus.
And starts disintegrating.
And yeah, he's like kind of falling into the well. Good effects again. He's melting away. It reminds me of a lot of Gremlins.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
The Melting Party Gremlin. Very similar. Mm-hmm. And he kind of gets knocked into he falls into the well, climbs back up. Again, great effects to the Leprechaun. Nathan hobbles over with his bitten leg. Or not bitten, his bear-trapped leg.
Yeah.
And knocks him in to the well. Takes a gas can from the Jeep.
Oh my god.
Pours the gas can into the well, lights a match, tosses it in, and it explodes.
Like, huge explosion.
Like, that's...
Like, Michael Bay level explosion.
Yes.
Like, and what?
We cut to the next morning, and it's still on fire.
It's still burning, like a bonfire.
Police showed up, and we hear the Leprechaun talking.
Yes.
As we cut to credits. So he's not dead, but he's got his gold. Except for one piece. Yeah.
What did we watch?
The Leprechaun. It was something.
It was something, that's for sure.
It kind of sets up the sequels, because he didn't get his last piece.
Yes.
So
yes, of course.
Yeah, so that was the Leprechaun. Anything with Warwick Davis was gold. Pun fully intended.
I was going to say, oof.
Jennifer Aniston, she...
was in a movie.
She was in her first movie. She finds some friends after and hits it big. And the rest basically fall into obscurity. Yes. Nothing.
Yeah.
Ozzy comes back in the sequels, like the later remake sequels, but that's it.
So have you seen the other ones?
Nope. I've only seen the first one.
Yeah. Okay.
So now next Pirates Day we'll do number 2, if not sooner.
Okay.
Or not soon enough. And we'll see what happens.
I'm in for more. I just know what I'm getting into this time, I think. Yeah. I just wasn't really sure what to expect, and I think
as the sequels go, it's kind of like Freddy Krueger. They, like Nightmare on Elm Street, they...
Yeah, but the first one was good.
I think it gets better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it gets more comedy, more
like Dream Warriors was better than the first one.
Yes, I think it was. The kills get more exaggerated. That makes it more fun.
Like
that's with Leprechaun.
Like you think they make it more like ridiculous and kind of try to capitalize on that?
Well, yes. Like one of the best kills was Welcome to Primetime, Bitch. That was in the third one.
Okay.
Third or fourth one. I generally think that as the series progresses for Nightmare, they get better. They get a little more corny. He gets more slapstick.
Right.
But that's the character. That's what makes it so good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that this is... Like, I get what you're saying. I just don't think that this one had enough ground to make it good. I don't know... Like, when I watch Nightmare, I'm like, oh, this is a good movie. This is a fun movie. That it's scary. It's believable. It's creepy. And this one I was just like, tricycle? Now car? No rollerblades? No wheelchair? Like, it just kind of, like, almost felt like it was trying to outdo itself.
But it was funny. Was it funny to you?
Like, there were parts, but not like, oh my god, this is so funny. It's kind of like cringe, like, oh, okay.
But it had more sense than My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
It had better effects than Black Christmas.
Yeah, I like Black Christmas. I like that one.
I prefer Leprechaun over Black Christmas.
Really?
100%.
Ugh. It was like kind of like Maximum Overdrive, I think. I did not enjoy that movie. Ugh. Yeah.
Well, okay, then what would you rate? How many Horr-Gasms would you give Leprechaun?
Like, I don't know, probably like 1.5.
Really?
Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. Like, it was fine. I would not watch it again. And if somebody's like, oh, I'm going to watch Leprechaun, I would be like, are you sure? Like, are you 100%? Like, I don't know. It didn't do it for me.
I'd give it 2.5.
Okay.
It was... Anything Warwick Davis was gold. Anything without Warwick Davis was a train wreck.
Okay.
I still, like, if they're trying to make that little kid Alex likable, they failed miserably.
Yeah.
Ozzy was the slow character, so you got the sympathy there. I thought they were going to kill Ozzy.
For sure, me too, yeah.
He's going to kill him, but he doesn't. I was hoping to kill the kid. He didn't. Nathan for being the hunk, the interest for the Jennifer's character, he was lame.
I was gonna say there's no backstory for any of the characters. Nope. Like, you don't care about any of the characters. They're all annoying.
Yeah.
It's like, take them all. That's fine. There was just I just feel like they didn't flesh out enough stuff that would have made it.
I was hoping that
watchable.
I wanted Leprechaun to get his gold.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted.
It's like the only person that has a backstory.
Yeah, he wants his gold, and he didn't get it all at the end.
No,
I was sad. I'm like, come on, he flew all well. He kind of flew. He came off from Ireland. He wants his gold.
Yeah, just give it to him. It's him. He earned it.
Yeah, just poop it out, Ozzy. Come on.
Hurry up.
Yeah. Pass that going. So I gave it 2.5.
That's fair.
That was it's. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst, but anything with Warwick Davis was gold. It's the best part. That it made the movie, and that's what it's titled, The Leprechaun.
That's fair.
What do you think Ichabod's kill the flick is?
Well, I think there weren't that many kills in this movie, but there
weren't that many at all.
The one that it definitely has to be is the guy in the pawn shop getting pogo sticked to death.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, that's definitely the kill for me too.
For sure, yeah. Especially with the song, the accompanying song.
Yes.
Made it.
It's so much humor. Comes from Leprechaun. He's so lighthearted and
yes.
He's always kind of cracking jokes and to me that's the appeal of the movie.
For sure.
That's where it works.
And this movie doesn't market itself as like a blockbuster and an amazing movie. It knows what it is, and I do appreciate that about the movie. Is that it's like, it's kind of weird, it's kind of lame, but that's what it's known for.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right.
Yeah. All right. And next week we're watching one of the only movies recently that has creeped me out. We're watching Sinister.
I think I've seen it. I'm not sure. I don't remember if I've seen it.
With Ethan Hawke. And he finds a bunch of old movies in an attic about murders.
I think I've seen it. I forget.
I think it came out like about 10 years ago, maybe? 5 to 10 years ago. Yeah. It's one of the only movies I've watched recently that I was like, ooh, okay. And it kind of messed with me, and I had, kind of like scary thoughts, and I was like, ew. And I like that.
Oh, good.
I need more like that.
Yeah, more of that.
Yeah, so I think that'll be a good one. I think we need to turn off all the lights, get some popcorn, and just really enjoy it.
I agree.
I'm ready to be scared.
About time.
Yay! And thank you, everyone, for joining us. This episode was brought to you by our executive producer, Ichabod. We hope you enjoyed your Horr-Gasm as much as we did. Please don't forget to rate, download, and subscribe. Also, like and follow us on Facebook at Horr-Gasm Podcast, Instagram at Horr-Gasm, Twitter at Gasm Horror, and YouTube at the Horr-Gasm Podcast. If you have a movie you'd like us to review, this is the best way to let us know. We hope to see you again next week because we have such sights to show you. Plenty of Horr-Gasms for you to experience. Bye!
See ya!